Welcome back to the Forensics Detailing channel. Today we are reviewing the Gritguard Washboard. Okay guys, welcome back to the channel. Quick one today. We are looking at this Gritguard Washboard attachment, okay? So just the first thing to cover, this is an attachment that is designed to interface with the patented Gritguard product, okay? So you can't use this Gritguard Washboard with any other Gritguard apart from the patented Gritguard product. And I'll put a link for both products so that you know you're getting something compatible in the description, okay? This one's come from Prestige Car Care. So the first thing, this washboard is designed to clip on to your Gritguard, and there's some instructions on exactly where it goes, which are relatively simple. You've got these kind of fins here, and you line it up with the hole, and then two of those fins. So the feet on the back of this sit over the last hole, and they kind of clip into place, okay? And then this pops into the hole. Once it's in, you don't have to give it a massive amount of force. It's not going to come out, okay? And that was one of the first things I wanted to test, is shaking this around, rubbing against it really hard to see if I could kind of dislodge this and make it fall apart. It doesn't, okay? So the guys that make these things are thinking about the basics, okay? Which is one of the big criticisms I had of the scratch shield, where the fins fall off all the time when you move it around. And that's why I recommend these Gritguards. The first thing is, you'll have your own opinion on this, just based on what you kind of, what you think of how much this is going to affect how you detail your cars, okay? And some people don't place Gritguards that high up on the list of things that are important to them. Other people have them as a must-have essential. I think they're a must-have, okay? You could work around the fact you don't have one, but it would be a bit of a pain for me to clean my mitt out in a bucket without a Gritguard. So that's my opinion on it. I'd rather have them than not have them, for sure, and they work. They are much more effective for me. Rubbing your hand in the bucket over the mitt will release some dirt, but this has got thousands or tons of different grills on it. So when you're rubbing a section of your mitt over it, each of these little grills is kind of pinging the fibre and moving the fibre and releasing that dirt. Much better than your hand is, okay, in my opinion. The main advantage of this of the attachment is it's just easier to work the pad. It's at a nicer angle where you're just rubbing up and down against it. But you're also doing the rubbing at the topper end, the higher end of the bucket, rather than right down at the bottom of the bucket. That's why I always tend to use two of these to raise them up. And I would recommend that you still use two in the bucket with this, because then your washboard, I don't know if you can see that, is right at the top end of the bucket, and you're kind of just scrubbing it, but it's not right at the top, so that when you start taking water out, you're going to be rubbing in air. The bulk of your kind of Gritguard is about there, so you're in the good section with two underneath it. So if you're into detailing, you'll see this immediately, and you'll form your own opinion on whether you need it or not, okay? You can still, clean your car to a high standard without it. You can still clean your car to a high standard without Gritguards. But for me, they're just a good product that help with the releasing dirt from the mitt and keeping dirt out of the mitt by kind of forming that kind of, well, keeping you away from the bottom of the bucket predominantly. But also just helping a little bit with not stirring the water at the bottom of the bucket. But the most important thing is rubbing against them to release the dirt. That is where they are the most useful, I promise you. A bit like a washboard, okay? The old days when they didn't have washing machines, and they used to rub the clothes against the old jagged edge washboard to release the dirt. They're a bit like that, but much bigger grills designed for kind of fluffier mitts rather than kind of, cloths, etc. So this is a good product. You'll only need one, in my opinion. I can't see why you'd want to be rubbing in the wash bucket as much. You do it in the rinse bucket. It'll cost you 12 to 13 quid to have one, but once you've bought it, I'm pretty sure from the build quality it will last you a lifetime. And I think when you've used it, it's not the type of product you use and then goes in the cupboard and you never use it. You'll use it all the time, and it will probably become something that you rate and recommend, because that's kind of how I feel about using it for a couple of times. I'd rather have it now than not have it. So it's a cool little product, and like I say, people have all got their own opinions, which is how we operate as human beings. We have our own opinions. Some people won't be interested in it. People that are into detailing and interested in kind of the importance of keeping the mitt clean, I think will really like this, and it's a good product. Thank you very much for watching the Forensics Detailing channel. This has just been a quick review of the Gritguard Washboard, and as always, a link for the product will be available in the description.